Why can we never find the hot springs?
It's against us. Maybe it's just telling us that we have to wait until Japan.
But I want to go hot springs now!
It is our final day in Taiwan, final full day in Taiwan.
We had plans to go to Turquoise, which is definitely not pronounced that way, gorge today. Unfortunately, the trains were fully booked.
So instead we are going to head south of Taipei to a little village called Wulai on a river, which we also think has some hot springs, which we missed the other day.
And it's pretty good because apparently it's now winter in Taipei. Temperatures dropped by about 15 degrees since yesterday.
So we're going to head to the hot springs and warm up.
Yeah.
First stop is the MRT. Well, I was a little lost, but thankfully somebody was very kind, very helpful, saw me looking lost, that's where I wanted to go, and has pointed me to the other side of the train station where the actual bus stop is. So we've just got off the bus, which is definitely one of the best ways to get around Taiwan, or at least the larger Taipei area. They're really easy and really cheap. So this was about 15 Taiwan dollars, which is about 35 pence, I guess 50 cents euro dollar. It's cheap. It's a cheap way to get around. We are at the small town of Wulai, which is in kind of like this gorge, like mountainous hilly area just to the south of Taipei. And the reason that we came here was because our plan to go to what is spelled Turquoise Gorge, but actually pronounced something like Taiaka Gorge, which is miles and miles away, failed because all of the trains were sold out, so there were no seats. But actually this has been really easy to get to, and it looks quite picturesque and like a very good substitute, very similar thing for us to be doing. There are hot springs here, so we're going to go and jump into those and hopefully check out a waterfall and the town here along the river. The bridge, each pedestrian pass line limit 20 people, not stay and loss, burning Bad Joe Bridge. Apparently.
So what does that mean?
I think it means don't put too many people on the bridge. Found sort of a dry patch. I've got your coat out for you.
Thanks.
And thanks to the wonders of Google Translate with its camera function, I can say that this says North City Classifieds. The city black to spar outcrop area referred to in the region downstream public to upstream parking area. For the maintenance of public safety, quality, close this area. According to the Water Act, Water Pollution and Prevention Control Events Management, it is illegal for people to enter this area, and after found people self-entering bathing, such behaviour will make the house police force drive from and shall be sanctioned. I think this is basically saying that they've closed the hot springs for public safety reasons. It's illegal to cross the barriers, and you do so at your own risk, and you could be fined and driven away by the police. So we might have to have a backup, like lunch. Looks to me like there's been some kind of big landslide here. Like obvious what looks like landslide damage over here. And there's a ton of like civic works going on. People digging holes and broken pipes and a lot of steel work going on over here. So I'm suspecting there might have been a landslide and then damage to the utilities here, which has caused the problem to pollution and the closure of the springs. I don't know if that's correct, but that's what it looks like to me because there's a lot of work going on here.
So I was a little bit grumpy that the hot springs are closed, but this feels like a really cute little village. It's so different from being in Taipei, so I'm actually pretty glad to come out here just to see something a little bit different in Taiwan.
We ordered 2 bamboo rice and pork. So this is basically just like rice and various accompaniments that are put inside a piece of bamboo and then steamed. Works really well. So far I've found various other things like chickpeas and some spices. Not too heavily spiced, just sort of lightly fragrant. It's nice and sticky, so it's easy to eat with chopsticks. And dipped in some chili sauce. It's really good. We might have failed on the finding the public hot springs down by the river. It does look like there's other people bathing in like hot pools down by the river, so perhaps you can find somewhere that's safe too. But because of all the red signs, we don't know whether it's A, safe, or B, allowed. So we checked at the visitor centre and they told us actually that there's a ton of hotels which also have kind of private hot springs. So we are going to get a private room with hot spring water for 1 hour and have a soak because we're not wet enough already.
So this hot springs we wanted to go to was busy, but we had a look around town and realised basically the entire town is full of hotels with private hot springs.
It's actually a hot springs town, and I just thought there was one like public hot springs down by the river. So in hindsight, both of us now wish that we'd just done an overnighter here and just come for the night, because although we rented a bathroom for 1 hour with like a hot and a cold hot spring water and a cold spring water bathtub so that you could soak and then cool off and whatnot, which was really nice. You could actually get a pretty nice hotel room here, including a hot springs bath in your room for not a lot of money. It's very picturesque.
And the hotels in Taipei are pretty expensive, so actually we could have had a really nice night here. So hindsight's a lovely thing.
But if we were coming again to Taipei for 4 or 5 nights, I would recommend coming out to Wulai and just spending one night in a nice,
I think it's a really cool
in a nice
place.
hot spring hotel. Yeah, it's a cool place to visit. I'm glad we ended up here. Oh, look at that.
I was going to get some, what I call mochi, but I've now been corrected and told it's mochi. And the guy was making grilled mochi. So I decided to give it a go.
What have you got on it?
Peanut and brown sugar. It's hot. I might need to wait a second.
Your face is like...
I think I prefer it cold.
We're going camera shopping.
technically that's a lie. We're not going camera shopping, we're going to the camera shop to have a look at alternatives, because whilst ours is being repaired, they said there was a chance they might not be able to fix it. So we're going to go have a look.
So you can buy a new camera.
We're going to have a look and see what the options are if they can't fix it. Cameras here in Taiwan are quite a bit cheaper than they are home.
Which means it's a good time to buy.
So Alex obviously wants a new camera. Yesterday he said I could have a new camera or a laptop for my birthday.
Her birthday.
I think Alex should have a new camera for his birthday, and I should have a new laptop for my birthday.
I'll pick you a new camera.
This is basically Alex's dream street, an entire street that just has camera stores on it. It's crazy.
It's not really, they've got everything wrapped in plastic so you can't actually play with it.
Oh yeah, sorry, he likes to touch.
Almost. It has been a really good day. Despite the rain, we've made the most of it. I definitely think Wulai is worth a visit. But we are going to head back to our room for the night, and tomorrow we leave for another new country. But there's one more thing that I really want to do in Taiwan that's really stupid, but I keep walking past these things that we will do tomorrow. So, for now, I'm going to leave it there and we'll pick this up in the morning. I mentioned last night there was one more thing I wanted to do before we head back to the airport, and it's use one of these machines. This is basically a machine that's everywhere in Taipei, where they have these mystery boxes in vending machines that you can win all kinds of stuff, like an iMac, an iPhone, a PS4, or a vacuum cleaner, or probably nothing. So I decided I had to give it a go because it's just so ridiculous. And I can see my lucky box number 11, and I'm going to go for it.
There's number 11 button.
Oh, we got box number 1 now. I might have to spend another 100. I accidentally pressed button number 1. I thought I was going to have to press twice. It's got something light in it. It's complete junk. It's like a fidget cube or something to press and fiddle with instead of clicking your pen, apparently. Can I put another 100 in and get my box number 11? It's also really light, which probably means it's full of junk. Yay, junk! A Bluetooth shutter remote. No iMac, no iPad, no iPhone 10. No GoPro. Box number 11 wasn't so lucky, but it might be useful, a Bluetooth remote. I had to give it a go, they're just everywhere, but that's my gambling days are done. No more stupid machines, at least in Taiwan.
Until we get to Japan.
If I find them in Korea or Japan, there will be a different selection of prizes, I'm sure, so I'll maybe try again.
Is this bridge?
Yeah.
Can only hold 20 people.
Yeah.
How on earth did some of the bridges in the Himalayas work?
Well, they don't, because they ended up like collapsed in the bottom of the valley.
This feels way more stable
than some of those.
This hasn't got 20 yaks on it.
Yeah. What did you say?
I said it's all flopping up.
What are you talking about?
So, I was going to get some, what I call mochi.